Enjoy the World Cup qualifying videos on this channel? Head over to Patreon for some exclusive classic matches done in the same style. Previously on my World Cup qualifying roundup, we were looking at the last set of games from the fourth match day of European qualifying, including this glorious free kick from Pjanic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, finally, we're on to the last video of 2016, South America, Part 6, and we begin with the main event, Brazil versus Argentina at Mineirão Belo Horizonte. And as you saw there, Brazil took the lead with a fantastic goal from Philippe Coutinho on 24 minutes. Then on the stroke of half-time, Neymar broke free and doubled the Brazilian lead. Into the second half, and Brazil went even further in front on 59 minutes when the ball was cut back to Paulinho and he couldn't miss. The final score, Brazil 3, Argentina 0. Another big result next as we go to the Estadio Monumental de Maturin in Maturin for Venezuela versus Bolivia. We were in only the third minute of the game when Kufati headed Venezuela ahead. Another header made it 2-0 to Venezuela on 10 minutes, Josef Martinez getting this one. It would seem that Bolivia were not doing well with crosses into the box as they went 3-0 down on 67 minutes, Josef Martinez getting the final touch, despite what the cameraman might think. Martinez would get his hat-trick 3 minutes later with a wild header looping over the goalkeeper. Venezuela would end the game with 5 goals, Romulo Otero tapping in on 74 minutes to finish Bolivia off. The final score, 5-0. Over to the original World Cup winners now, Uruguay, who took on Ecuador at the Estadio Centenario in Montevideo. The home side were in front on 12 minutes, big defender Sebastian Coates kneeing the ball in. With a minute left of the first half, Ecuador equalised, Felipe Caicedo finishing off a great counter-attack. However, in first half injury time, Uruguay would get their winner, Diego Roland putting his foot out at just the right time. Final score, 2-1 to Uruguay. Next up, Paraguay versus Peru at the Estadio Defensores del Chaco in Asunción. Christian Riveros would open the scoring for Paraguay in the 9th minute with a beauty. It all came undone for Paraguay in the second half, however. Firstly, on 48 minutes, Cristian Ramos equalising for Peru, with whatever that is on his head. Then in the 71st minute, Peru took the lead. Edison Flores given an open goal to get the second. Once again, Paraguay got caught on the counter as Peru took a 3-1 lead thanks to Quena's goal on 78 minutes. Paraguay's misery was completed on 84 minutes, Edgar Benitez scoring an own goal just to make everything even worse. Final score, Paraguay 1, Peru 4. The last game of matchday 11 was Colombia versus Chile at the Estadio Metropolitano Roberto Melendez in Barranquilla. Unfortunately for the neutrals, this match was another 0-0 draw, so we'll do the usual thing of showing you a couple of chances, both teams walking away with a point. We start matchday 12's action at the Estadio Nacional in Lima, where Peru were hosting Brazil. Some persistent play from the Brazilians allowed Gabriel Jesus to open the scoring for them on 57 minutes. A routine victory for Brazil was completed on 78 minutes. Renato Augusto getting the final shot, giving them a 2-0 win. The result leaves them top of the standings with 27 points. In the next match, It's Chile versus Uruguay at the, deep breath now, Estadio Nacional Julio Martínez Perdonas in Santiago. In the 16th minute, Uruguay struck first, Edinson Cavani scoring his 8th goal of the qualifying competition. The home side would get an equaliser just before the interval, Eduardo Vargas heading past the Uruguayan keeper in injury time. On the hour mark, Chile took the lead, Alexis Sanchez with something special. And on 76 minutes, Alexis Sanchez would get his second goal. Not quite as spectacular as his first, but it was just as effective to make it 3-1. With not long left, the Chilean goalkeeper conceded a penalty. Luckily for him, though, he managed to get in the way of Luis Suarez's effort and leave the score as it was. In the standings, Uruguay, despite the result, are still in second place with 23 points, Chile in fourth with 20. Over to the Estadio Olímpico Atahualpa now in Quito, where Ecuador were facing Venezuela. A far post header from Mina in the 51st minute proved to be the breakthrough for Ecuador. In the 82nd minute, the same far post was in effect when Miller Bolianos poked in to make it 2-0 to Ecuador. And not long later, it was 3-0, a giant counter-attack being finished off by Enner Valencia on 86 minutes. The final score, Ecuador 3, Venezuela 0. Ecuador sit in third place in the standings on 20 points, ahead of Chile on goal difference. Bolivia were against Paraguay at the Estadio Hernando Siles in La Paz. The match settled by a single own goal, Gustavo Gomez accidentally knocking into his own net on 78 minutes to give Bolivia a 1-0 win. And so we finally reached the final match we'll be covering in 2016, Argentina against Colombia at the Estadio San Juan del Bicentenario in San Juan. And what better way to start than with a 9th minute Lionel Messi special. Lucas Prato extended Argentina's lead on 22 minutes with a lovely header. Argentina finished off Colombia in the 83rd minute, Lionel Messi setting up Angel Di Maria for a tap-in, allowing Argentina to win 3-0. Overall, Argentina move up to 5th in the standings, the playoff place, 1 point ahead of their opponents Colombia. That's it for this video, and thankfully that's it for 2016. Hope you've enjoyed. Come back in March, or if you're getting withdrawal symptoms, come back for the FIFA Interactive World Cup qualifiers. Like and subscribe.